Are you willing to throw away your highest efforts? Hey, welcome back everybody. Again, super excited to be here. I don't know, am I always super excited? What the hell? I think I'm always super excited, especially when I'm making these videos. This is really a pleasure to be doing all these videos for you guys. So let's dive right in. I want to talk about how we can help ourselves stop falling back to that square one again and again and again when we're trying to pick up this new habit or trying to do something positive, but then we just keep falling back to that square one. Problem is that when we're trying to pick up a new habit, we're depending on our motivation. And how Mel Robbins says, motivation is bullshit. And that's a little bit dramatic, but I kind of agree. Motivation is bullshit because if you only depend on motivation, then you are destined for failure, right? Because motivation does not last long enough. But you don't have to take my word for it. Well, think about it. How many times have you started a new habit? Something that is related to your self-improvement, fitness, or whatnot. And you were all these excited and super happy, and you couldn't wait until the next day would come so you could do it again. And then for some weird reason, that was not the case after like 2 weeks or whatever the time frame was for you. That happens more often and often that you notice that you're not really motivated until you reach the point that you're just not motivated at all, ever. That's it. You don't want to think about that habit anymore. That's it. It's out the window. Why? Because your action was depending on motivation, and motivation is an emotion. It passes. Once it's not there, action just falls through. And then what does that cause? It causes your self-image becomes damaged, stained. You think, I am an irresponsible person. I never follow through. That is a vicious cycle. In reality, well, you're just a human. Your actions are dependent on what your brain tells you to do, such as picking up a new habit and everything that has to do with the reward has to do with dopamine. And your brain simply can't put out same amount of dopamine for every kind of task or every kind of action that you're starting every time. So the dopamine levels kind of get lower and lower and lower, and then at some point you just completely lose the motivation. And this action is really kind of is somehow related to planning, but it's not really planning. Well, it's related to calendar, not in the way that my previous video about planning and using a calendar and timing and all that. That was more like technical. This is purely based on emotion and visual aids. Here's what I mean. Imagine this line of your habit forming. Initially, you get this emotional boost. You're motivated. You want to start that exercise, your fitness routine, and everything is super awesome. And there's also a point somewhere along this line where your habit is already so ingrained in your daily routine and in your brain that you're not even spending any mental power to make a decision to perform a task. It's like automatic. It's just like you're not even thinking about it, and you're just performing that task over and over. In between, somewhere between this emotional and like motivation and automated habit already, you get this valley, little section, what I call the habit death valley. It's kind of funny, but it's true. In that little section, all your habits die. That's where all your little cute new habits are residing now. They're all dead in that little section. All your future greatness, that once you thought that you would be super fit, super successful, and whatever else that you planned for yourself and you have not persisted through, that's where they are, in that habit death valley. Here's the good thing. We are visual creatures. Visual cues for us are extremely important. Visuals impact us very deeply. So we could use and utilize this for our advantage. We can leverage that. And this is putting giant red X on that day where you performed that task when you did have the motivation. Imagine if you are planning for yourself a cardio every morning, and then every morning put that X on that calendar. If your motivation lasted for 2 weeks, well, guess what? You already have these 2 weeks full of X's. Like, that's your effort. It's right there in your face. It's just staring at you, begging you, please don't abandon me. You worked so hard, so much sweat and blood you've invested in this 2 weeks that you just don't want to abandon it. This is going to help you immensely, and you will feel almost like guilty giving up all that effort. To be completely honest, that has helped me to go through these cold shower procedures for like 2 years, not missing one day. Not because I'm such a strong person or strong-willed or whatever. I just didn't want to give up all that time, all those days that I've been doing it, right? So on a day when I got up and said, like, you know what, not today, just like one day, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, those like tricky little sneaky ideas that sneak into your brain so that you could kind of go back to square one. I had those too, but the idea that if I would quit, you know, what would I do with those X's that have been like, those are like perfectly aligned or staring back at you? Well, it's not going to be perfect anymore. So it does not allow you and gives you this like extra little nudge. Or for me, it was not even a little nudge. It was like smack in the face. Like, no, you got to go and jump into that cold shower because you don't want to give up all that effort. Tougher the task, then more you will feel it when you look at that beautiful rows of crossed out X's that you don't want to give it up. It's like your baby now. It's your sweat, your effort, you know. So that's gonna help you tremendously. I really encourage you to try it and to prepare yourself for that habit death valley. It will really save you and help you reach that point where it's already effortless, seamless, and you just keep doing it and doing it. And that's how you form a new habit and support and bridge your motivation to effortless habit. That most crucial part that nobody talks about, like how do you motivate yourself all the time? Well, you can't. You can't always be motivated, but you have to help yourself to stay motivated, and that will definitely help you to do so. All right, so here it is, my extra tip, how I help myself with these visual aids. You know, if you'll incorporate this in your routine, you will become this standard for your friends and family, that person who has this iron will, you know, who does not fail even after the motivation is not there anymore, and just keeps going, keeps chugging along. But you know, you're gonna have your little secret, and hopefully you don't keep this as a secret. Please share with your friends. Please share this video to someone who you think that will benefit from this. That's my purpose. I really want to help as many people as I can, because I really didn't have this information when I was a little bit younger, and I would have really appreciated if somebody would just sit down with me and tell me all the stuff that I'm telling you. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you like it. I hope this helps you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like button. You guys are awesome. I'll see you again soon. Bye.